record-breaking single, everything in the #1 slot.
Ah, yes, but this year along came The Wet, another song from a movie and another huge chart success. And they were so close to equaling Bryan Adams' record, just a week away when this happened.
What an upset! Whigfield Saturday Night sneaked in and knocked Wet, Wet, Wet right off the top slot.
And the Danish pop star's a record breaker in her own right. She's the first new artist to go straight in at #1 with her debut single.
Whigfield, congratulations. Debut single, straight in at #1. Knocking Wet, Wet, Wet off.
You look even happier than me. No, yeah.
Incredible. How did it actually happen? What's the story behind the single?
Well, it started as a joke. It was really a surprise for everybody because, as my producer often say, it's like you think you do some good work in the studio, you think you have a hit, you have a #1, and then you release it, and nobody cares about it. And then you do something for fun, and it becomes #1.
Now, how do you feel about upsetting all those Wet, Wet, Wet fans who desperately wanted them to break the record, and suddenly you come in and knock them off in the #1 slot?
At first I felt a bit embarrassed because I have great respect for them. I mean, they have so many good songs behind them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I felt, God, it must be easy getting a #1 here then, because I felt that our product was so simple.
Saturday night dancing like the way you move. Pretty baby, it's party time and not 1 minute we can lose. Be my baby.
So, Whigfield, never sung before. She's been a model, never had a single before. Debut single goes straight in at #1. It is incredible. How's it happened?
Gives a lot of people hope, doesn't it, really?
I'm going to try it myself.
Well, it falls into the category of the holiday hits. These are the ones that people hear when they're down on holiday in Ibiza or wherever in Spain or on the continent. And they come back and they want to keep that good time they had on holiday. They want to keep that feeling of the Saturday nights. Hey, Saturday night, what a great name for a song. So in the past we've had Viva España, La Dolce Vita, and other holiday hits. So this one was ready to be made, but the record company held it back because they wanted it to make a spectacular entry. And of course, wouldn't it be great if it could follow the Wet, Wet, Wet? And after all, it is the same large record corporation. So thus we had Whigfield in the wings while Wet, Wet, Wet were still up there at #1. The record company wanted it so badly to tie Bryan Adams' record. And they tried this stunt at the end. They knew it was going. They saw Kylie had come in at #2. They knew other records were advancing. They thought,
She beat Kylie, I can't believe it.
How are we gonna get this record to be #1 for 1 more week to tie Bryan Adams? So they came up with the perfect stunt. We'll delete it, which means you have to buy it now. Go out today. And there was a 60% increase in sales for Wet, Wet, Wet in that week. So the stunt worked in one sense, but what they didn't count on was Whigfield. And even despite the Wet, Wet, Wet surge in sales, she jumped above them, and consequently she deprived them of their record.
So what now? You're #1. You can't get any better than that, can you? Unless you do a follow-up single, that becomes...
Well, we are, that's why, I mean, England is pretty late because we're doing the 3rd one already. #2 is, the #2 singer is called Another Day.
Well, congratulations, you are a record breaker.
And this is it, the exclusive first showing on British TV of Whigfield's new single, Another Day.
Well, you got me